that's not exciting to read, right? You want black with like splashes of pink, right? Like moments of hope, even if the story overall is sad or scary. If it's all one note, one mood, there aren't layers to it, that's going to become very monotonous, right? So nobody wants just this one color piece. You want to have the story going in different directions, have the reader feel different things. There can be one overall emotion, but there can't just be one. Let's read about the author, and then we're also going to do some vocabulary on this page. So can you read this for us, please, Nathan?
Biography. Vijay Daz is a poet and a writer. His pen name is Musafir, which means traveler. He is a wanderer at heart and loves traveling and discovering new places, cultures, and languages. He is a film believer in the spreading of play in peace and
Nathan,
love.
I think you're going too quickly. Can you start back at this sentence and just take your time with the sentences, okay? So just take your time with the reading.
Yeah, he is a wanderer at heart and loves traveling and discovering new places, cultures, and languages. He is a firm believer in the spreading of peace and love for creating a better world. He ardently supports causes relating to environment, girl children education, empowerment, and equality in the world. He respects all the religious and celebrates the festivals of diverse faith. He is a passionate writer who believes that his writing is a necessity for him. He it is his module. He writes from a pyramidical urge emanating with from within people to create and to breathe life into characters inspired from people whom he knows and meets in his everyday life. His work has been published and in acclaimed journals and magazines. His debut novel, Why Does how do you pronounce that word?
Silhouette.
Silhouette was published by Events Publication India in 2021. He was an editor and writer for the book Flying with Words, published by Saracena Publications, Nepal in 2021. He loves teaching English and creative writing to emerging poets and writers.
Good, Nathan. Let's talk about some of the vocabulary on this page. Can you define any of the words in yellow for us?
No,
That's okay. Let's try with context clues. So he ardently supports causes relating to the environment. What do you think you could put in place of ardently that you think would make sense?
constantly,
Say that again.
constantly.
Constantly. Okay. That's a good guess. But would we really say someone is constantly supporting a cause? Constantly means to do something nonstop, right? So you can't really,
Continuously.
yes, but what else could we use when we're talking about someone being in support of something? If we get off the idea of constantly or consistently, what else might be there that they're supporting with?
Um,
How else can you support something?
Passionate of
Yeah,
supporting something.
yeah, passionately. Exactly. Very good. So ardently is an adverb meaning very enthusiastically or passionately. So let's fill that in. Can you raise your hand or come on the mic if you know any of the other definitions for the words in yellow, please? I know some of you know these. Okay, Jasmine, go ahead.
Silhouette is like shadow, or like when you have the light coming and then you just see like the black, like if it's a person, you know it's a person, but you just see like the black shadow, basically. Um, and then emanating means it's like coming out. Like if you have like a light bulb, there's light emanating from it. Um, and then primordial, I'm pretty sure means like before life or before Earth or something like that.
What would it mean in this case?
Like base or
Yeah.
yeah, let's go with base.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure mojo meant like their thing, like their like very important hobby.
Yes. Very good. Those were excellent, Jasmine, and really helpful when you give an example as well. Sometimes someone's not going to understand just from the definition because it's not relating to them anyway in any way. But when you give an example, that's really helpful. Like when you said the light emanating from the bulb, that's exactly right. So let's go ahead and start with the next one, which comes first would be it is his mojo. Like Jasmine said, it's your thing. It's from which you gain your magic power. So writing is your mojo. It's like writing is the thing that makes you special. Writing is the where you draw your confidence from because when you're really good at something, you feel like that's your thing. You know how that makes someone like they're just in their element. So your mojo is your magic power, your magic charm. So let's put that there. He writes from a primordial urge emanating from within him. So Jasmine's right. It means that like existing at the beginning of time, basic, fundamental. And when she said base, that's a really good synonym here. So like your base urge, like he feels like our primordial urges would normally be considered eating, sleeping, things like that would be our primordial urges. So they're from the beginning of time. You don't need to be taught those things. Those are your very base urges as a human being. And what he's saying here is that he feels like for him writing is in that category. Like he needs it as much as he needs eating and sleeping. Obviously not technically biologically so, but that's his feeling about it. Like he's something that he can't live without. Emanating, we're just going to say coming from. And then silhouette, like Jasmine explained, Nathan, is when you see something lit from behind. So normally it's a person, but it can also be a thing. So we would say a silhouette of someone, but we could also see a silhouette of a building against the sky, something like that. So it's the dark shape and the outline of something visible against a lighter background in the dim light. Any questions about any of those words? Let's each choose one and write a sentence with it. So choose any of the vocabulary words and write a sentence with that vocabulary word. So any of them on this page and then contribute a sentence. So you're choosing between ardently, primordial, mojo, emanating, or silhouette to write your sentence. Write it properly, periods and capitals, and then we're going to use those as some of our examples on the next page because like I said, it's great to have definitions, but even better to have definitions and examples. So please write a sentence using one of the words. He would have joined his friends out on the terrace, but the silhouette of their close embrace was enough to turn him away from their private reunion. Even just the amount of detail packed into that short sentence is awesome. Okay, so let's say that we want to avoid the word silhouette. Let's try, since we have a sentence with that word. Let's try for the other ones. Jasmine, since you have time, try for some more so we can get as many examples as possible. The village elders wove many myths about the primordial forest, creating tales to terrify the village children. Very good. Again, the level of detail in these sentences is really impressive. This is actually getting me very excited about what we're talking about today, which you probably guessed from the quote and our discussion there. But just the word choices here and the specificity is really great. He would have rejoined the celebration, but the loud noises emanating from the ballroom were getting a bit much for the late hour, so he just went home. Excellent. Nathan and Ryan, what are you two doing? Let's get some sentences. Nobody should be just sitting there. Never going to get better if you're just waiting for other people to do the work for you, right? So we have primordial, we have emanating, we have silhouette. Nathan, what word are you writing with?
Just give me a sec. I'm using, I sent it to you. You can check.
Okay, I have it now, but let's be a little bit quicker. Ryan, you should be writing. I was standing on a piece of wood. Suddenly I heard some wired sound. Oh, you mean weird. Okay. And it's highlighting rejoined, Jasmine. I think it wants us to hyphenate, but I don't think that's necessary. So we're just going to leave it. Ignore that. So you should have the word when, Nathan. I was standing on a piece of wood when, suddenly, and that can be offset by commas like you have. That's right. When suddenly I heard some, and then we will say weird instead of wire. I always spelt weird wrong when I was a kid as well. I always mixed up the I and the E. Weird sounds emanating underneath me. Good, that works, Nathan. Very good with the vocabulary word.